any secundo. All right, fantastic. Once again, no intro because we're all about kicking things off as quickly as possible. In this week's show, Double Feature Horror Show, episode 229, we're going to see if we can overcome the curse, which is anytime I have the camera on, I find it super distracting. And when I'm just like trying to find my files and my images, it messes me up. So yeah, there we go. I don't think I even told anyone to refresh this time, but we're okay.
Refresh, guys. Refresh if you haven't already. I'm going to do it now. I'm typing it now. Chat,
how are you? How are you? I hope all is well. I am Proper Horror Show, and I am joined by the Mucha and Keisha to my... God, hang on, which iteration of the group was that? Who's in with Mucha and Keisha?
I don't know, but I would have been happy with Hale and Pace.
Hale and Pace. Yes. Niche. Yeah, we don't alienate the Zoomers enough on these streams, do we?
Talking about niche, I mean, do these guys count as niche nowadays?
I believe they do.
Yes, bro. I saw your comment in the back room, bro Magnum Man, and I was like, oh, I hope he appreciates this. I hope he appreciates this. I got this.
Come on, look. Two number ones for Mr. Blobby. Everyone should know him. Hang on. You're right, Samson. Oh, it's Samson, you cheeky bugger.
You bastard. You beautiful bastard.
Slagged off by Samson. I've seen how you eat
Samson.
Samson.
I actually invested in a webcam, right? Because last week when I did the 8-bit thing, I was using my mobile phone and it was situated on a desk where it was like that. So it looked like I had a double chin. So I got the webcam to hide it. Can you stop exposing me, mate? What's the matter with you?
Savagery. Well, folks, I think we've all adjusted to having cameras on this week, all for a bit of fun. Bit random, but I kind of like it. I think since TCG, you sort of kicked. Also, why are you that blobby guy and not that slime guy?
Well, because it's the blob. It's two blobs, so there's blobbies. Blobby.
True.
God, I love Mr. Blobby. I know many people hate the guy, but I mean, I had his video. My nan got it for me for Christmas. It was him decorating, going to the shops, airport. Brilliant. Ballet dancing with Wayne Sleep. Oh, brilliant. Learning rugby with Will Carling.
Wow. So really, Mr. Blobby, bit of a polymath, basically, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Murgoot, I've got to ask. Does Mr. Blobby mean anything to you, given that you come from across the pond?
I'm familiar with the memes. The Lotus Munchers have gone over it. Not so obvious, and AA went over it a long time ago before they went completely gaga.
Really?
Yeah.
I still love my AA. I am not disavowing AA.
The cultural side of AA is funny. It is funny because I mean the thing is the geezer's about my age, I think, and so a lot of the things that he refers to are things that were from my time that I can appreciate and understand, even if it does look a bit alien and weird and a bit dated. It's so my thing. It's so my thing, and because he's that kind of age range, him reviewing pork scratchings just seems to be something that just really resonates with me. I haven't finished his reviews yet.
Today on Twitter, he's like, "You're not OG if you didn't use LimeWire." It's I use Hamster,
mate. Oh my lord, absolutely. Oh my god,
I use Usenet to download the code files for meaty files in the early 90s.
Well, I used to use LimeWire to download LimeWire Pro.
You love to see it. Yeah, absolutely love to see it.
In fact, LimeWire was how I got Cool Edit, which was the first audio recording software that I used to use back when I was a rapper.
Come on. He's trolling. There's no way he doesn't know. He knows. He used to have to leave that stuff on for like overnight just to get a few, just to get some MP3s.
Yeah, and then you play it and find out, and then you play it and then find out you've downloaded like German blue movies or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how they got in your hard drive?
Yeah. Well, it was. I remember I was trying to download. I was trying to download a South Park episode, right? And like you said, it literally took overnight.
And you found South Park. Basically,
because the opening scene was some girl going to town on this guy in the back of a limo. And but the thing is, right? The thing is, I hadn't seen the episode, and I didn't know whether Matt Stone and Trey Parker were like, because it started off like, you know, New York City lights and all this stuff. And there's the limo, and I'm thinking, are they experimenting with something here? And then it's like, no, it's not. Oh my god, no.
Man, you'd tell me if you were in a German Scheisse movie, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I learned very quickly anything labeled color or regal, you filter.
Yeah.
Dutch,
Greek.
In Dutch, the Dutch, it's
Dutch. Going Dutch, they get split, all right, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh God.
This was a family-friendly stream once upon a time.
Long gone.
Hi, chat. You know, we're also going to talk about the Blob tonight. We're going to talk about a few versions of the Blob, as well as whatever nonsense we're going on about now. Episode 229. I will say quickly, because I want to address super chats have come in already, proving absolutely without a doubt that you can support this channel via super chats or memberships, both here and on Subscribestar. I'm now so self-conscious about like weird little head movements I do while I talk that you don't usually see, chat. Samson gets this. Samson knows what I'm on about. It's weird when you go on camera, isn't it, Samson? It's a weird feeling. Anyway, yes, you can indeed support the channel via super chats, and it's wonderful when you do so. It helps me justify purchases of the most random material. Distant Night has led the way by sending 10 Aussie dollars, getting in first before anyone has a chance. And yeah, he actually didn't give anyone a chance here. Over half an hour before the stream started, he got in saying, choose best thumbnail yet. Gibbs money, Mog Hendry's. Brutal. He's not talking about the gin. Thank you very much, Distant Night. And thank you again for your excellent work in providing the screen caps. Very, very helpful. Actually, it really saves a huge amount of time, especially when we're covering 2 films as we are doing tonight. And a certain Hendry is followed up. Mr. Lawrence sending in 5 pounds. Very much appreciated, saying, let the baby have his bottle. Not taking the bait. I'm just going to rise above the usual low quality bait like a well-leavened loaf of delicious sourdough bread. Good taste.
Make sure you put some Welsh salted butter on that bread before you take a bite.
Got to sugar that up.
Oh, do you know what? I had sugar when I went to Wales the other week, and I have to say I fell in love with it. It's amazing. Again, thank you, AA, for that.
It's actually great butter.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Nice.
Oh,
people are appreciating the cameras.
I thought they would.
Yeah, I think it's good fun.
I mean, to be fair, you're the most experienced anyway, because you had no like issues going on camera for your main video project. So this would just sort of like
I have huge issues going on camera.
It doesn't show. To be fair,
I edit them. But
although,
thank you, yeah.
Funny enough, I had to. I'm sort of putting this whole YouTube stuff now to good use at work. And today I made 2 videos, or worked with 2 videos. But one of my colleagues, bless her, she did the audio for one of them, but she basically kicked me out of the office so that she could record it because she was too conscious of recording it in front of me, knowing full well that I'd be sitting there for the rest of the day listening to all her coughs, splutters, mishaps, and whatnot. Bless. But yeah.
It does happen. Like the first time you go on, you just it takes a while. You can't even speak. You can't get a sentence out, and eventually, you get into the level where you just pop the webcam on and you go. I'm not on that level yet. I am terrible at remembering my points, but when I want to, when it's really working, it's just like a few bullet points on a sheet of paper and go.
Yeah,
Unless it's
one of
complex
my
autism.
side jobs for a couple of years in the late 2000s was reading textbooks for the deaf.
Ooh, hang on. Reading them? Oh, wait. Not
Yes.
recording an audiobook.
Recording an audio textbook. Specifically math textbooks,
Wait.
because I understood the math.
Blind?
For the
Surely
blind, yes.
You
I
said
thought you said deaf. You said deaf.
Sorry.
That totally threw me off. Like Murgoot's there just getting a textbook, being like, I'm going to mog these deaf. Here's what you're missing, baby.
Wait, what?
I did it in Morse code.
Sorry.
So they can feel it coming through the speaker.
Oh, mate. Samson didn't quite hear that, by the way, Murgoot, if you want to repeat that.
No.
Had a question. Gin and tonic. No, that was just water, John. This, however, wait, how do I move this? This is the good stuff. This is carrot and parsnip sherry.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Homemade. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Oh, well, Samson. Isn't it the truth? Isn't it the truth? It do be like that.
You won't find me doing that.
Like that.
You won't find me doing that.
Come on, Monsters, sponsor us.
Yes, Monster, please do it. No,
I'm
before
out
Monster,
here trying.
Come on, can't I get an Armagnac brand? How often do I talk about a crippling Armagnac addiction? I should be able to get an Armagnac sponsor. Baron de Signorgnac. Let's make it happen.
I'm stuck with my tea, and my boy bought me this as well. I'm not too sure what that is, but I suspect it's lemonade. Yeah, it's lemonade. Oh, he's a good lad.
He takes good care of you.
He does. In the old age.
All right. Well, 12 minutes. Shall we talk about them? I feel there's going to be a shit show. We're just going to be so distracted by the cams. Maybe it's just me. But all right, folks. Well, we're carrying on the body horror arc, and where do I look? Like all the stuff is over here, but the camera's up here. What do I do? It's throwing me
Focus,
off.
woman. Focus.
I will. I'll give it a go. Folks, we are carrying on the body horror arc, and we are addressing something of a split. There were two films that I was kind of torn between. Like, you gotta do one of them, and I just thought, well, why not do both of them? It's not like the Carrie one where we did 4 Carrie films.
Yeah,
there's only half of that. We can manage that. So yeah, we're covering The Blob from 1958 and its remake to work out when my
it's a remake, but it's changed a little bit. But I saw it in the theaters, and that's been what, 35 years ago.
Yeah,
about that. Yeah,
40, almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was 98.
I don't spooky, but years. Pretty much 40. And you were one of the few patriots making profit for this film, because the remake, oh man, unfortunately bombed. Undeservedly bombed.
I was gonna say, like, this was cracking, but I mean,
well,
you talk about
I looked up the summer movies that it was competing against. Let me see. Coming to America, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Big, Crocodile Dundee, all opened at the same time as The Blob.
Wow.
Brutal.
Okay.
This is like Friday the 13th Part 6 going up against Aliens on the same weekend.
Right. Hold on. How much were cinema tickets in 1988? Because we established in 1958 they were 80 cents. Or in fact, 80 cents could have been the tickets, the popcorn, the drink, whatnot.
Remember, with the student discount was $4.50. Otherwise, it was $6.
Right.
Oof.
No excuse. Man.
2 visits. Surely you go twice. Surely you can fit it in. Anyway, brutal. We got the inversion. We've got the extremely cheaply made one that was an absolute smash hit, and then the remake where they were confident and put a little bit of money, not a huge amount, but a little bit of money behind it, and then it bombed.
I'm not that old, Lawrence.
Lawrence is a cheeky lad. Bless him. Bless
I'll
him.
guard you. That kid deserved it. His name was Danny, wasn't it? Because in the 88 version, they also had a Danny, and they did the right thing with that one.
Yes, indeed.
They corrected that mistake. From the
remake. It's a remake that takes some very impressive liberties, and I will be arguing borderline improves every single choice it makes, including just happily murking kids. Just
I hope you won't mind me saying, but Dissident Night was very, very well adamant that the 88 version was better than the 58, and I almost felt like I was walking into a trap, like I was going to be like some sort of contrarian, and the 88 film was going to be a dumpster fire, and the 58 was going to be an absolute gem. The 58, I feel, was a bit of a gem.
Yeah.
But the 88 version, I think
it's a very underappreciated film.
Yeah. In fact, it's so unappreciated that I got about 2/3 into the film before I realized, hold on, I've seen this before.
Oh, right.
Literally, because when you get the government agents turning up in the white like hazmat suits and whatnot, I'm thinking, hang on, have I seen this before? But then I'm thinking, am I thinking of E.T.? Am I thinking of E.T.? And then it's when they get in the sewers later on with the woman and the two boys, and I'm like, hold on a minute, I'm pretty sure I know what happens here. And then when it happened, I was like, oh my God, I have seen it. And then it all just started falling into place again.
John Goris, what they used for the original Blob was semi-sheer silk cushions filled with food additive cellulose. And they oozed it around the screen.
Is that for the 58 one?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the 58 one.
It's just funny that in the remake they have the line, "Do I have the screen cap?"
They say that.
There's the line where someone says, I managed to beat the strawberry jam.
Oh yeah. Which
I like.
Yeah. It's like, nice. Oh damn it. I killed the strawberry jam.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, it really does look like jam. We've got a selection of screen caps here just to confuse them. Just to demonstrate them. But where's a nice one of what we're talking about? How about that? Strawberry jam, folks.
Beautiful. Love me strawberry jam. Love me some strawberry jam.
Yes. But for people that actually, before we get into it, perfectly timed. Distant Night, a fantastic purveyor of screen caps, sending in $5 from Australia and saying, "Hey, I am a menace. You are. You're a menace from down under. I'm a menace, but have my recommendations ever steered you wrong, TCG?"
They haven't. Yeah, to be fair, I'm still continuing to have fun with Metal Gear Solid Delta, Dissident Night, which of course you can go check out on my second channel. Shill quickly there. GB's still not sure. I'm trying to do my best to portray TCG, Mr. Gently Benevolent. Please do understand that, while he is busy in the Middle East protecting Trump's best interests, that I have to be the one here holding the fort for him. So just consider that. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a channel meme, by the way.
No, your version of Ian Brandon Anderson.
Basically, yeah. Trevor Clive Jenderson is my name.
Yes, that's the one. And speaking of Mr. GB, thank you, by the way, just tonight, very much appreciated. And Mr. GB saying, "Morning, Professor Property, fake CG, and Mr. Goot." Yes, well, morning to you, Mr. GB. I love the fact that you must be waking up about 6 a.m. and immediately popping on our nonsense. It tickles me. I like to think you're sort of brewing a nice coffee whilst we're on. Is that right? Or have you cracked open the castle main already?
Could ask the EK the same question, to be fair.
Gotta do it. Making use of the 41-month membership.
Oh, 5:30, 5 a.m. Oh,
5:30.
That's about when I get up, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Watch my morning news, drink my coffee. A lot of coffee.
So much coffee. All the coffee.
All the coffee. We make the greatest coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I'm getting up at 5G, but that's only because Little Horror Show is an early riser. She is a lark. Oh yes, and she is larking about plenty. Well, you know, Mr. GB's got me asking. I'll put this out for comment, and I'll be interested to know. Just check it. Since Mr. GB has made excellent use of his membership privilege to send a member super chat, I would be very interested to know what people might be, what might tempt people to come over and start a membership. I'd be interested. Would it be more commentaries, more big brain academic stuff, or random offcuts and deleted videos that I release occasionally?
I can tell you immediately what it would be.
Oh,
plushies. That's what he's been banging on about for the last 41 months.
Yeah,
that's what he wants. He just wants his plushies.
Follow the old Swindon Menace himself and bring out the body pillows.
Yeah.
Imagine if you brought one of those to Lotus Eaters Live. Samson confirmed. Did anyone bring one of the vintage body pillows?
It was just a head pillow, not a body pillow.
Depends how small you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then again,
some people it might be.
I still remember Count Dankula pitching a fit because somebody made a homemade body pillow of him. It was more Sue pitching a fit than Dankula.
Lauren said, I joined just for the smile commentaries. I haven't figured out how to unsubscribe it all the time since. Yeah, thank you, YouTube, for making that unsubscribe button very hard to find.
Yes, please. All right, Samson has confirmed that no body pillows have yet surfaced. Fair play.
Get one and take one with you next time you go down to Swindon.
Yeah. Well, Lawrence, I like if it's commentaries. I try and think like with an unpredictable toddler. What can I do for the wonderful members aside from the exclusive content you can already get, and the ability to have something of your choice reviewed, and the ability to vote on the arc that is covered each month? What could I do for members? And I thought, commentaries are good. Big brain streams are good. I can do that. If people want more stuff like the Cannibal Holocaust review, that's easily done. And I just thought I'd ask. I might do a poll about that. But I sure do love the commentaries. And we don't have a Friday the 13th till September, but we got a Friday the 12th coming up.
What's this? Samson can't be trusted after that sausage roll pick.
It's true. Have you not seen the monstrosity?
No.
It's brutal.
Lads,
it's brutal.
Find it, share it. Let's have a look at it.
It's yeah, I mean, you have asked for this. This is going to be really niche. If you're watching this back years in advance, this is very weird old Twitter nonsense. But Samson has demonstrated the incorrect way to eat a sausage roll.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, he's not done the Ed Miliband approach to bacon sandwiches.
It started with Kit Kats. It all started with Kit Kats and people not breaking off. Obviously, we're all humans.
Just
we're civilized.
Fighting right from the middle.
Yeah. No, obviously Kit Kats, you break off finger by finger, and take them that way. But some absolute degenerates just munch the whole thing. Wrong. And then Samson demonstrated that we live in the ashes of civilization by eating a sausage roll sideways. It's not on.
What?
It's not on.
Yeah.
I know.
Mate.
It's not on.
Horrorshow, that's diss track worthy, that is.
I don't think I could do that again.
That is diss track worthy.
Although you might, maybe I'll give you another diss track for Christmas this year.
No, I couldn't do it all over again.
It was that was a thing we did. There we go. Distant Night sending in $5 Aussie. Thank you ever so much. Saying more streams, more tube. That's all we want. Also, you aren't addressing the correct issue with Sausage Roll Gate. What? Did you have a vegan one?
Oh no! Have you seen Greg's have got a new sausage roll out? Greg's have got the chicken sausage roll.
I mean, you can get chicken sausage. It's true, but it feels wrong, doesn't it?
Bland. It's like turkey bacon.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Dylan says this is what chuckled me. Girls can eat sausage anyway. I damn well please. Something about degeneracy, was it? I'm choosing to use the phrase sausage roll sideways as a euphemism from now on, says GB. Chicken sounds foul.
Terrible, Lawrence.
Wow.
I'm so trying not to make a commentary because it's a family-friendly stream.
It is a family-friendly stream.
I'm so biting my tongue right now.
All right. I'm going to give you a wholesome instruction. Oh, before we do,
before we do, chat, I have to announce. Do you know what the great thing is now about being a webcam YouTuber? Is that you remember the little avatars that we had or have if we do decide to switch back on? We can kind of go one step further. I mean, you see Mr. Blobby in the background right now. Why the hell aren't the pictures loading? Damn it.
Fill the air, fill the air, fill the air.
Why aren't they loading?
I don't know. Why isn't the blur effect going? Everyone has to see my North Georgia candy roasters in the background. If you're wondering what's in the pots.
Right, well, when it decides to load up. In the meantime.
Ooh.
No, is better.
Vintage. Absolute vintage to anyone who remembers that stream.
Yeah, annoyingly, I can't find the Christina Hendricks ones because the images aren't loading. But trust me, I will find them.
Talk about blobs you could disappear in.
Yeah, and before the stream ends tonight, we will put Christina on the big screen.
It'll be full screen Hendricks posting. Well, let's direct ourselves to more wholesome focuses here, and. For anyone who did not do the homework, although I will mention both films are up on YouTube in their entirety somehow. For anyone who did not watch the homework, Murgoot, could you give us the back of the VHS summary? Let's start with a 58 and then we can talk about what the 88 version changed.
Steve and Jane are out on a date. They see a meteor crash. They go chasing it. An old man finds it. Old farmer finds it. It cracks open. He starts getting eaten. Steve and Jane. Steve McQueen playing a character named Steve. Imagine that.
He's credited as Stephen McQueen, which feels very weird. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's like eating a sausage sideways. It's just it's wrong.
They take him to the doctor. The doctor takes care of him. They take off and try and warn people. Nobody believes them because they're just teenagers. And the doctor gets eaten. The blob gets loose and havoc ensues until they find what stops it. And to spoil it, the government comes in, picks it up in a Globemaster and drops it in the Arctic.
True. Fact check. True. Do I have it? Oh, I've got the tidal wave of it. Hang on. There you go. Dropped off in the Arctic. Sorted. Job done. Yes. As Lawrence is aptly commenting, yes, the world's least convincing 17-year-old.
Oh my God! True. Yeah, I looked into this, didn't I?
Let's get him up again.
Yeah, he was
29 or 30.
He was 27, 28 at the time because at the time in 58. But I was like, oh my God, this is actually hilarious. I mean, but it was obviously very common for them to use much older actors. Excuse me.
Even in the 80s, it was too. But at least Kevin Dillon was a pretty boy, 19 or 20-year-old, not a.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I think he was like 23 when he was filming Kevin. Something like that.
But he's a handsome baby face, unlike Steve McQueen, who has looked the same since he was 25 up until his death. I mean,
man who never got ID'd. You know that for a certain. You know, yeah, he is not a convincing 17-year-old. I mean, it's fair to say.
The man who played his dad in this film only looks about 10 years older than him.
Very weird. There's something quite interesting about this. Like, before we even get into the outer space angle, there is a really interesting angle to the 1958 version. Apart from, bless you, apart from being like classic B-movie fodder, it's the idea that they've got in this of the teenagers being like validated as a concept. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it was like a firm pitch to almost like create a new demographic. The way in our generation, like we've seen them try and create tweenagers, if you know that.
Yeah.
Like basically, okay, you're not able to see a 15 movie, but you are. We're going to try and treat you as a slightly more mature marketing segment.
We're going to revamp
specifically the 12. Target.
Yeah, we're going to revamp the 12 rating and make it a 12A, so you can go and watch it with somebody older if you're, you know, because we think you might be mature enough if you go with someone who thinks you're mature enough. So
yeah.
Oh, I'm old enough that I was 13 when I saw the first PG-13 movie in the theater, Red Dawn.
Oh, classic. Well done. Lawrence knows me far too well. This is what you get from being a member. Yes, I thought you'd bring this up. It's the opposite of what Commode would call a pedophobic film. Indeed. Yeah, it is trying. This sounds really weird to people today, but the idea that the teenager was not always a sort of accepted concept, that it's actually like an invented demographic, is maybe something that surprised a lot of people, but it really is true. People didn't tend to think of that awkward period we call teenager as its own thing. You were kind of a kid and then just became an adult. Like this idea of the teenage concept where you're sort of an adult in waiting with your own distinct desires that you can do, and specifically desires that people can sell to, you know. It's very much a thing that was created. I mean, Murgoot, do you have memory of this? Does that ring a bell? Do you think it's hogwash even?
I didn't quite finish. I'm familiar with it. The 50s and early 60s, yeah, the age of the teenager was coming. It was kind of enforced because they just come out of World War II, and 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds were commanding entire tank columns, that kind of thing. And they kind of recognized that people grew up very, very quickly. And it was kind of recognized. It was artificial then. It's become standard now. In the 80s, Gen X latchkey kids. I wasn't exactly a latchkey kid because I was working by the time I was 13 at my family business. I didn't stay home alone. I got out of school and I went to work from the time I was 13. But it's the Blob 88 showed the latchkey kids. It's small town, so the parents are around more, but the guys are out wheeling and dealing on their own while Meg is taken care of by her parents, but she's still able to sneak out. And that was one of the stereotypes, and that was, it's those stereotypes. The social dimensions are very apparent.
Yeah, the sort of demographic that's most definitely not children and sort of in conflict with adults who want to keep them in a minor role. So you see it a lot.
I can't remember the character's name in the 88 one that was macking on Vicky, but I was sad for Vicky dying. Paul, I was cheering for him getting eaten.
Well, yeah, very memorably eaten.
Yeah.
Very memorably eaten. That is something I really liked about this. I said this to Distant Night in the background. I really loved in the 88 version how they would merrily kill people off, even kids.
Hey,
they wouldn't even like resolve their they don't even resolve the storylines. They just off them.
Yeah,
they killed the main character.
Well, yeah, I was going to say like
15 minutes.
Yeah, when I'm pretty sure I think Paul might have been the main dude at the hospital.
Okay.
Thinking about again this one here. So genuinely, I was like, "Oh my god, they've actually killed this dude!" And for me, at that moment, the stakes felt very high, and it's quite telling that the screenplay was done by Frank Darabont, one of the showrunners for The Walking Dead, well, the first season that is. And you know, as anyone who knows The Walking Dead knows, that you know it is a high stakes show like Game of Thrones. Nobody is really safe. Anyone can die at the drop of a hat, and like this film, it can happen in the blink of an eye. Like, you know, storylines could go unresolved. It could just be like, oh, shock value, boom, right, take out one of the main characters. And this film was doing it so well. Like I said, that I honestly thought that we were going to be following this dude around he was going to be the main sort of like protagonist. In fact, I was even thinking to myself, okay, well, you've got Paul, you've got the other guy, I can't remember her name, and you've got the sort of like the rebellious teen on the motorbike. And I'm thinking, right, they're going to be the three that survive this film, which is a bit weird because you normally have two, maybe one. And then as soon as he was taken out, I was like, okay, well, hold on a minute. Whoa, okay, what's going on? Why are we taking him out so quickly, so suddenly, and so brutally as well? And I'm like, right.
Expected him to dodge it, and I thought it was going to be BS. Like a much weaker film would have let him dodge that.
100%, 100%. Like, he'd come in and be like, "Oh my god, what on earth?" Like, "Oh, that was close." And then, like, you know, the Blob would escape and go and off and do what else he had to do. But you know, he had that plot armor and he was No, none of that. Where you know.
Meg had that final girl plot armor. She should have been dead 4 times over.
Yeah, but you know, final girls do. You know,
by the end, you know. But this showed a lot of willing. This genuinely surprised me, made it hard to predict. Then when the sheriff, who do I have a cap of? I do not have a cap of. Anyway, he's played by Jeffrey DeMunn, a Darabont regular.
Yes, The Mist, Walking Dead, just to name a couple.
He gets cacked and then spread across the phone booth window just as face.
I think I might have missed that. Yeah, I think I might have missed that. Was that an off-screen death?
It was a totally off-screen death. Yeah, like the whole thing is like, will they, won't they? Yeah. The sheriff and the waitress, and it's like, no, the Blob's going to have both.
Admittedly, I actually went back to rewind because I know the last you see of him, he's like, oh, I'm guessing because he looks at the ticket where she's put like, I'm off at 11, and then he goes off. It doesn't really say where he's going. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm just worried about the town, something like that, something like, you know, selfless. And then when she's in the phone box, she's like, I need to speak to Herb, and she's like, oh, he's on his way to he went on his way to the diner, and then she looks out and there's just that face that's sort of like.
Slap.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. And I was like,
I'm glad we got the cameras on for this.
Is that him? But the thing is, I do that with the camera off. This is why it's so good that you got it on now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hang on a minute. So I rewound it, fast forward. I was like, hang on, did I miss it? No, it was. I thought cheap.
Totally off screen, just catches you.
Bit cheap.
No, sod their love story. It's just like, she just gets killed. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the fact it did it sort of consistently, like you can probably guess who's going to be a final girl and final boy, whatever. But they showed they had quite a lot of guts in this, and I really like it.
Well, they killed the cat too. You see the cat's head thing too. It's like, oh, they're killing pets now.
Yeah. Just speaking of proving they've got the guts. By the way,
saw it a lot.
Does anyone appreciate this chap in particular? I will leave.
I've seen him in a lot. I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
No worries. As a David Lynch semi-obsessive, this made my heart jump for joy. That is Jack Nance, lead star of Eraserhead and a Lynch regular, rocking up in this to play a doctor. No name, just a doctor. Now, I kind of thought that that was sort of explained because I noticed during the opening credits that the casting was by Joanna Ray. Yes, Lawrence, and yes, Chopsticks Murphy, absolutely. Yes, that the very same chap. So Joanna Ray did the casting, and she did lots of casting for David Lynch. So I think that's inevitably how Nance came to be involved with this. But it's just a treat. He's there for wanting. I mean, the slight dark side of this is David Nance had some not particularly advisable alcohol consumption issues, and I think he made enough friends in the industry that they kept him getting work so that his health insurance stayed. Regardless of that, it's lovely to see him, and it's
Dylan,
just a bit of a
little
hoot.
piece of heaven quip is just squick-worthy. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
It's
unfortunately, I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's squick-worthy.
Okay. All right. I'm lost. I don't think I want to Google anything. You're a devious man, Dylan. Oh, devious. So nice to see him. I was also absolutely delighted that Sean A. Smith was in it. That blew my mind. I messaged you guys backstage to be like, Sean A. Smith. That means nothing to anyone else. I know her only from the Saw movies, and I thought she was absolutely fab in that. She's Amanda in the Saw movies. And I checked. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was. I thought she was in her 20s in the Saw movies, and she's like 35.
Bloody hell!
I know, she's doing pretty well, doing pretty darn well. And in this, she is 19. So got a 19-year-old Sean A. Smith.
Wow.
Dylan Roth, yes. R.I.P. Julie Cruz as well. Also, I believe Rebecca Del Rio. If we're paying tribute to David Lynch songstresses.
I'm sorry. The chap who voiced Lord Zed was also in this film. You're joking.
Look that up. We did it.
Rangers.
Hang on, Dylan. Come. Okay, look. Saw 2 is a very good Saw movie. Nevertheless, that it's adapted from an unrelated script, but I make a solid case for Scream 3. In fact, if you want to go way back in my archive.
You mean Saw 3?
I do mean Saw 3. Thank you. I make a solid case for Saw 3. I don't know if I could make a good case for the others, but
I've totally blanked about Summer School. God, that was an 80s teen sex comedy. That was
all the rage back in the day. They don't do the 80s sex comedies anymore.
It was nowhere near as good as Porky's, but it was quirky.
Porky's, was that also a sex comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the ones that kicked it off.
No, I've never heard of it. I was the one who kicked it off.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, do you remember TCG? Do you remember what American Pie did to films for our generation? You got tons of them: Euro Trip, Road Trip, etc.
Yeah.
Porky's was that in the 80s. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, Dylan Roth went and said the exact same thing. Yes.
Jim Drains again.
Well, I was only reminded of American Pie after seeing that webcam footage of Harry Dresden, because the dude looks like Jim's dad's son.
Oh,
please tell me you've seen that webcam footage.
I've seen clips of it. I haven't watched it. I don't know what this story is, but I thought it was AI. Like he looks like the
No, it's real. It's real. It's totally real.
It's a real dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, well, hold on.
Right.
Sorry, you carry on. You carry on.
Okay. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to have to get filled in on this later, but I really thought that was AI. Okay.
Bad boy, Dylan. Pecan pie is nothing to mess with when it's hot. That boiling molasses is nothing to mess with. I'm surprised you still have your wedding tackle.
This used to be such a family-friendly show. We try. Guys, do you think it's deliberate? Like, I couldn't shake it how much the female lead here, and of course we never remember names. She really looks like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, yellow dress.
Yeah, Jane.
Carrying the dog, Jane. Like, there's a little Toto thing going on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems deliberate. But I want to put this out there because this was... Oh, yes, oh, gosh.
Tell me that does not look like Jim's dad.
It does. It looks just very much like Eugene Levy.
He looks like he's just caught his son.
Or Milhouse from
talk to him about. And now he's going to talk to him about male testosterone.
Oh, dear. So, something I want to throw out here. I will massively agree that this was charming. And I was put in mind of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1956. It's charming. It's delightful. And that's a really nice quality in these B movies, is the charm. But I want to throw this out there, is that the original Blob, it's got some stuff real dry. Like, this thing is padded out with those dialogue scenes. This thing is padded out with some nonsense, especially like the drag racing thing.
It's the drag racing thing was fun. That's a 50s kind of thing. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, fun. But look, I will say I had a blast watching this film. I thought it was real fun. Like you say, charming is perhaps the perfect word for it. It's just epitomizes the kind of films at that time. I know you had issues with the pacing. I personally didn't. I feel like the story was trying to be told in a way that was trying to sort of give sort of validation to the younger generation, like in terms of how like the older people aren't really like buying this story about a blob when quite clearly something's going on, like something is strange. This guy has an explanation but no one's buying it, and it is quite outlandish, but it's give the kids a chance kind of thing. But yeah, there were issues. I felt some of the editing was very sort of patchy. There'd be like really odd sort of editing bits between sort of within scenes. There were like the drag racing thing. It was one of the scenes that came to my mind. Wholesome and love it, but it felt very much put in place because at that point in the film he had to go and like he was meant to go back to the place where they found the meteor to have a look around and potentially even get a sample or something, and he just conveniently forgets.
That's it. The doctor has given him a pretty urgent task
to do. Urgent instruction, bearing in mind
he just forgets about it for 10 minutes straight.
Completely forgets about it, and it's not until after he's had the interaction with the police officer that he's like, "Oh yeah, I was supposed to do that, wasn't I? Oh yeah." It just, do you know what I mean? It just felt very sort of like, oh yeah, the audience might have forgotten what I was supposed to do, so I just better quickly throw in this one line to remind them.
Yes.
Yeah, it felt very clunky in some bits. But that doesn't mean. But for me personally, I thought it was a great film. The practical effects that they were using for that time, amazing. 1958, and they were some of the things they were doing at that time. Oh my lord!
Cushions as the Blob. That was that was astonishing. I love the movie theater scenes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh mate,
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I had such a great time with it, and I genuinely felt like I might have to disagree with Dissident Night here because that was quite a high standard for. Because the thing is with those films at that sort of time, I expect that sort of stuff. I do expect that, like the intro theme music. I'm sure lovely little theme tune for it, but it just felt well out of place for the type of film that we were talking about.
Well, the big band jazz, I mean, if they would have put in a dance hall scene where they were playing big band jazz, it would have made more sense. But compared to the rest of the movie where it's all orchestral and you don't hear the AM radio playing or anything like that, just as the intro music, you're right, it was kind of out of place.
If it helps, the music was a last-minute switch.
I'm not surprised.
They'd basically finished the film and then decided to switch it for a more light-hearted tone to phrase things a bit more like horror comedy and lighten the mood a bit. So if you're wondering why, that's why it comes off a bit like that.
Yeah, you get the beware of the blob. It creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, a blotch. Be careful of the blob. Be careful of the blob. Do 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 do. And I'm like, what is this? Catchy.
It's not the Monster Mash, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just not, it's not not here. You know, especially when you're talking about a film where they literally say, oh, we've, about 40 to 50 people have been killed by this thing. And we're talking about it glides and slides across the floor. Beware of the blob. No.
There's
but it's just how it was back then. It's just how it was back then.
Very much so. And you know what? It's kind of weird reviewing it from where we are now. We're looking back on this as vintage, but when this was the fresh hot thing on the scene, it was already doing something to sort of make itself stand out. Let's go with this. So there's something that both these movies do, which is to sort of announce that, just like they announced that this is a movie for teenagers. Hey, teenagers. Come and watch this. We recognize you. You guys are super valid. We like you. We want your money. We respect your challenge. It's a new world. It's all groovy. Once you finish with this, come and watch Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. Whichever that was, whatever it was called.
It was.
This movie was kind of differentiating itself from what at the time it was kind of considering the old-fashioned horror. So it's got itself in contradistinction to Daughter of Horror. You may have seen it as under the title Dementia, but that was released only a couple of years earlier, but starring Bela Lugosi, so it's clearly marketed as like the older era. And they show you a couple of screenshots from it, but it's clearly meant to say like, this is your old horror. This is the old stuff, but with a new thing. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, just to date my mom. Well, I shouldn't put it that way.
Phrasing.
She was 16 when she went on a date to watch this movie in the theater.
Samson said, that's the edition of Britain's Got Talent. Well, it's funny you should mention that, mate, because I had to today at work. We're doing a table tennis tournament, and there was a wild card thing for the people that got eliminated. I was one of them, and I was asked to do a quick recording for it in Peter Dixon's voice. Now, if you don't know, Peter Dixon's the guy who does all, like the intro, the big words, and tonight it's this, da da da.
Okay,
I can do an impression of that guy. So it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor. Be careful of the blob.
I hear it. She's doing Sterling as well, the Scottish guy who does like the no?
What does he do? Hang on.
He used to do the Love Island announcements. I only know him because of the Finn versus the Internet when Chris Williamson was on.
Right. I'll have to listen to his. Oh, yeah. I'll have to go back and listen to that voice. I remember. I don't even remember that. It's not quite it's not quite Scotland, but that dude who used to do Big Brother. Day 47 in the Big Brother house. I can't do that voice, but I used to do it quite good before my voice was absolutely jaded.
Yeah. King has passed the wine bottle challenge, and now she's taking on a tankard. It's
PJ's getting a PJ from Jade under the covers.
She wasn't up for it, but he's promised her 2 pot noodles if she can finish. Yeah, good time.
Jade's giving PJ a goody.
No, Samson, don't go. Don't
Samson,
go.
you're not allowed to go.
Yeah, so you're locked in, bro. You're locked in. I will apologise to anyone from Newcastle and just anyone in general who heard that film. But yes, there was a really good point here from John Gorris. Night of the Living Dead also does the old horror send-up, so differentiating itself from the 1930s stuff, which is, was leaning heavily on gothic imagery and saying, no, we aren't doing that. We differentiate ourselves. Yeah, definitely. That was 65? No, 68. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Night of the Living Dead. Come on, Robbie.
I think it was 68. I think you might be right.
It was 68.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Don't always get it right, but there we go.
Dylan, before my hair went gray when I was clean shaven and I was 70 pounds heavier, I was mistaken for Robbie Coltrane in the airport.
How much did you charge for the autograph?
Nothing. I was as soon as they heard my American accent, they were like, "Oh, you're not Robbie." No, I'm not. But there's the headshot from Cracker where he's sitting there at the desk in his suit coat smoking a cigarette, and that's apparently how I looked when I was in the airport.
Right now, you just got to be careful you don't get badgered about the next Winds of Winter coming out, No. We're kidding. We're funning. Lawrence, yes, Fright Night. Oh, I love you for that. Same with Fright Night's opening. Yes, indeed. The differentiation from the old style. Yeah. Well, it goes in cycles, doesn't it? Because Fright Night's hitting back not at the 1930s cycle of Universal horror, but it's referencing your sort of 1960s and early 70s Hammer horror, which is reflecting that. But between that 30s and 60s cycle, you get this stuff. You get the Blob. You get a strong differentiation when we're not about castles and vampires. We're about the brain of Morbius. We're about the influence from space. That's what we do. And of course, the remake does the same thing as well, which is quite interesting. It also kind of differentiates itself in a fun way.
Yeah, I was going to say it with the remake. It does a lot of the same beats as the original. But one of the things that, I'm sorry, Dissident, what I wasn't too keen on was that it effectively gave gave the Blob a backstory. With the 58 one, it's quite ambiguous. This thing just falls from outer space. No one really knows anything about it. It's just there, and I think that's quite cool. Whereas with the 88 version, hi
Paul Allen.
Hey Paul,
how's it going, Patrick Batman?
Whereas with the 88 version, you do actually find out, it's nothing supernatural or alien. It's just a experimental virus that the American government have been working with, that they shot up into space, and it's come back down, and they want to use it for essentially military supremacy over the Russians.
Yeah.
Okay. Boring. Sorry, I wasn't feeling that.
Fighting talk. I love that.
I wasn't feeling that.
I'm not worried about it, Patrick, because I face revealed a long time ago, so is proper.
Yeah.
So. I spent half of a stream uncovered before I realized I wasn't using an icon. It's
just be like,
accidental. Yeah.
That bad take guy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just like ambiguity. I like the mystique and mysteriousness of it. Like, I mean, Night of the Living Dead, let's go back to that. You know, the fact that it's a space virus. It's like, I prefer like Dawn of the Dead, where it's just not explained. It just you wake up one morning. I prefer that. I love the mystery. I mean, even like The Walking Dead. I mean, the wildfire virus. I mean, that there's even explanations for that or theories behind it. And I'm like, no, just I like the whole. You go to sleep and everything's fine. You wake up in the morning and it's the apocalypse. Love that. Don't need a reason. Don't need a rhyme. Oh, okay. I'm actually glad you feel that way tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I like the ambiguity, the mystique. I prefer that.
I can see that, and I do agree. I think forgive me for going on a tangent, but it's like, do you guys remember Lost?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do,
and they spoilers for Lost. You know, there's this weird island. Weird stuff is going on the whole time. And it's like, oh, what's going on? It's it's this, and then this is behind that, and then this initiative was behind it. But they were supporting this project, and they discovered this mythology. But that referred to, like, you dig back and dig back and dig back and dig back and dig back. Ultimately, you're trying, why is weird shit happening? Well, you get to the very last episode of the series, and it has to be like, there's kind of like a magic well in a cave. And you get to it.
There was originally the vault, then there was the well, then there was
the
evil creature that was controlling the evil creature. And then it ends up all being a dream.
It's like, but it's ultimately at some point, to I don't know, reference Patrick Batman's comment. You do have to open the mystery box at some point, and basically there's nothing in the mystery box will satisfy you.
I think
that's not the interesting point. Like in The Mist, what actually caused the mist? Like, does it matter if it's a secret military project called Project Arrowhead to explore other dimensions, or is it better if it's someone has opened the Necronomicon? Like, that doesn't actually matter on the story, and it's always going to be kind of disappointing.
I will say,
so like the Blob,
that's a great example. That is a great example, because that reveal in the film, it's like, oh, okay, fair enough. That's nice. People get focused on it, but it's really not. I think that sort of thing is never the most interesting part. Yeah, and if you use that as an example, and actually again the same can apply back to the Blob. Excuse me. You know, for me, the reason is secondary to the primary thing that interests me, which is the human psyche, the human condition. Like, how will people react? How will people survive this? You know, because you've got this like this gelatinous like being, which when it consumes something, it gets bigger, and bigger, and the more it consumes, the bigger it gets. We've already, we established it's damn near unstoppable. And so how do people adapt to that? And I think that for me is the primary thing. And I like not knowing. I just like the not knowing. Like, sometimes it can be frustrating, don't get me wrong. I think I've said it before in the past where I'm like, oh, I'd like to know this, but most of the time with films like this, I'm cool not knowing. I like the mystique. I like the mysteriousness. And then if you get your own sort of like fan theories and things like that, that's quite good to go back on. But yeah, can I just say as well, because I'm what I love about the sequel is that from the get-go, because obviously if you've watched the original, you know how the Blob's defeated. You know it's one weakness. But if you haven't, and you watch the sequel, not sequel, but watch the remake, it's giving you subtle hints throughout the start of the film. As the opening credits are rolling, it goes past a shop window which has got ski and like snow season, but they're referencing.
They do the foreshadowing very well. It's,
you know,
the mechanic talking about
grabbing a beer.
Season's coming. I have to maintain so many ski-doos, and I've got to maintain the snowmaker trucks. And you're like,
grabbing
about the storm is coming. Well, we haven't had drop of snow for 3 years. Well, just you wait, it's coming. And
grabbing a beer from the fridge, from the cool freezer. You know, emphasis. There's so much emphasis on the cool.
Yeah,
the cool, because they make a mention. Like, oh, put your coats on. It's going to be freezing out there. And they're like, Mum, it's October. It's really warm. No, sorry, it's like it's really warm. It's baking outside. And she's like, but it's October. Like, come on. But they're constantly referencing, well, it's warm, but everything sort of alludes to like things need to cool down. Like the guy in the projection room when the aircon is blocked up by the blob. You know, it's referencing like I need to cool down. It's, to me, it's just a subtle storytelling way of like, why is it warm? Why is it unusually warm? It's because
as it gets hotter, the blob is just in power, or rather, the more powerful the blob is, the hotter things are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the biggest hint is obviously when in both films when they go into like the cool room, like the freezer, and it chases and it sort of like.
But that's in both movies.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's the biggest hint of it, obviously, and it sort of like recoils because of the cold. But again, you don't really sort of, you know, if you're not paying attention, you don't sort of realize it until obviously you're basically told. But I do like how the second film just subtly drops these little hints and these little nuggets as to how to defeat the blob without actually telling you until again right at the end when they're like, oh, that's actually weak to the cold. Like, okay.
And then the guy brings in the snowmaker machine. Flag drives through the roadblock in with the snowmaker machine, and Meg blows up the CO2, huge CO2 canister. It's, they did really well with that. They also did they foreshadowed a lot, like the downed bridge and him trying to jump it. And then later in the film, he escapes the government agents by jumping the bridge in the dark. And the typical 80s action movie, the truck goes over the side and explodes.
That's some great exploding truck action.
Yeah.
That was this is the 80s.
As part of that, can I throw in, like, because having said, like, on the whole, I 100% agree on the origins thing. I am totally fine never learning out what the blob is. But I did love the swing in the angle where suddenly it's like a rebellion against the government. I thought that was
like, that's a whole 80s thing. I mean,
and I love that. I like that.
That's a whole 80s thing because distrust of government. The Hangover from Vietnam, Watergate, Jimmy Carter. I mean, you see it in E.T. really badly with government agents chasing E.T. and Elliot around. But this is Iran-Contra had just wrapped up right about this time the film was released. It's a whole bunch of government scandals showing how corrupt they were.
Yeah, and you know, the same could be said, and the same could be said for the second, for the original to a lesser extent, I suppose, because obviously, you know, weren't that far removed from the Second World War. I think you had the Cold War around that time as well. So again, there was a lot of questions around, around government authority, and you know, the theme of these films was, you know, the younger generation, those not. Those effectively without a voice, I suppose, essentially being right and
they were proving themselves.
They were proving themselves. Yeah, that's it. Yes, proving themselves. That's perfect. Thank you.
Like they are rebellious, and they definitely get all the adult authorities' backs up. But they're ultimately shown to have a good heart and be trustworthy, which is that idea of like establishing the teenager.
That's in the 58. The 88 shows the independence of the latchkey kids.
It's a very different it's just updated for the time very well, and I think
it's a different kind of anti-authority take, because again, the 58 one, they played with authority. As they sort of demonstrate, they sort of say, we give this police, I can't remember his name, Bert, I think his name is, like a rough time, but maybe we should lay off him a little bit. He's a good guy really at heart. And then you've got, but contrast that with the 88 version, you've got the dude with the leather jacket, he's just like, I don't get on well with authority. I don't trust government. This sort of, he's very, very anti-establishment or anti-authority in that respect. He has no respect for them. He could trust them as far as he could throw them. Whereas in the 58 one, they want to be listened to and heard and respected by those in authority. They look up to these people. They appreciate them, value them, even if they do act a bit rebellious. But it's all in it's all good faith and a bit of fun, but nothing harmful in that regard. And even the authorities in the 50s version, when they have Steve and his date, and they could have easily kept him in prison overnight, or could have put him in jail because of the whole like reckless driving stuff, and they were just like, go home, like what's the point? You guys, you're good kids, really. They're good kids, really. Whereas in the 80s one, dude, it was more of a evidence-based thing, like, we've got no evidence to lock him up, but believe me, I would if I could. And Herb approaching, I can't remember the dude's name now who survived, the leather jacket kid, I'm going to call him. Literally like,
Kevin Dillion.
Kevin Dillion, that's it.
What's his character name, Murgoot?
I can't remember. Flag.
Yes.
Yeah, when he literally just pulls up alongside him, he's like, so you're 18 now. No more juvie for you. I'm watching.
I quite like that.
Yeah. But it's just it's contrast and difference. It's different attitudes.
Yeah.
He's not. Obviously, he's not looking at him just like a kid anymore. But you when you tell that he's a bit of a nuisance, and but it's not something that you could sort of. It's not something you could sort of like banter with, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, Dylan Roth, he's a boy and a man, and he likes it. The Alice Cooper quote is great.
Oh, you're catching things that are slipping by me. Dylan's doing my favorite thing of just slipping in song lyrics. Let me throw something else that I thought was cool about the 80s version. So this is a film about an entity that just consumes things for its own end. The film does a kind of good job of consuming quite a lot of popular media. Like, it is very clearly referencing and repeating bits from Aliens. It is explicitly repeating stuff from The Thing, and even including allusions to the poster.
There was a poster,
and clips from the film. I think I've got the poster here. Where are we? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to look for this bad boy. There we go. I've got one of them in the projectionist's office. That sounds wrong. The projection room in the cinema. They even have little clips of the face melting. One of the face melting effects from The Thing, which I thought was just a kind of respectful way of like, we love this movie. We recognize it's doing a lot of the things we're doing, and we're going to pay tribute to that. But also, like, the ET angle, I thought was in like, this is very conspicuously taking some aspects of things and redoing it. Also, I'm going to have to get the screen cap of it. Sorry, but the ruthless, brutal Friday the 13th mogging.
Oh, that
was such a treat. Where is it? Sorry, I'm going to have to look for it.
While you look for that, I just want to talk about, because speaking of cinemas, Please tell me you guys saw that woman in red get absolutely stacked in the 58 version.
I did not manage to catch it.
Oh my lord!
I failed. I failed at live.
Right. Oh, I can't grab. Actually, can I? Right, I'm going to see if I can grab it. Yeah.
And while you do that, I will get us not only Jeffrey DeMunn's face melting. Brutal, Jeffrey. What did you ever do to the effects team? Get them dirty like that.
That was great. That was. But again, I hate the fact that there was an off-screen death. I would have loved to have said that is so bad.
No, they just had bullet bras. I mean,
great, but bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great. I loved it. But I was like, mate.
I'm just gonna say I felt very seen in the scene. And since we've already referenced Fright Night, do you remember when they had Malcolm McDowell's character just Roddy McDowell's character.
Roddy McDowell.
Thank you. They had him basically complain about Friday the 13th very brutally. I think you get this feeling like everyone was a bit sick of them at this time. Alas, but you know, the guy in the back saying, "Hey, look, she's gonna run into the shed." It's like, yeah, I think we've all been there.
Right.
we got better. If you're still looking up, I'll throw out an even rarer one. TCG, do you remember one of Eminem's first concerts that was filmed and released? And he did a little Jason skit in it.
I do remember.
Remarkably like
the denim. Yep, the denim outfit. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he references Jason and like Freddy Krueger a lot in his music. In Criminal, especially, I remember. If it's not a rapper, I can make it as I'm gonna be a flippin' rapist in a Jason mask. I'm a criminal. It's all locked in here. Right.
The whole album.
Bring up the screen. I need to show you this.
Right. Yes, right. Got it.
I've got it muted as well, so don't worry. But
you are... Oh, wait, hang on. I've got to remove this, and then I add that. Sorry, I'm a boomer.
No, it's okay. Right.
All right.
So there's coming out. Oh, like for a start, the problem I had with this as well is a load of them are smiling.
Yeah. They're having a great time.
They're having too much of a good time. That dude there does not look bothered at all. The one in the white shirt, dark shirt, in front of the lady in red.
The guy with the glasses is absolutely...
Right.
Oh, wait. That's a
Here we go. So this woman here. See that woman there?
Yeah.
That woman there?
Yeah.
Watch
red
it.
Dress. Yeah.
Bang!
Oof.
Oh, she took a heavy hit.
Absolutely took a tumble.
I did like when they did the shot from the point of view of those being trampled. That was an interesting choice to put in. That in 1958, that would have added to the horror, showing people just being trampled trying to escape from the blob.
It's an iconic moment. I gather at the town where they filmed it, they do from like 2000s onward, they started doing a blob fest there. They reenact the storming out of the cinema. That cinema, by the way, is the Colonial Cinema. And it's been restored. And they charge out of it every year. It's let's throw something out there, though. I have often suggested that I'm actually quite fond of remakes because someone can see something that's pretty good and just think, you know what? I think we can do that a little bit better. Not just something that you don't know how... When you're making the original in 1958, you're trying different things. You don't know what's going to quite work. And when it gets to the screen, you don't know what's going to land. You don't know what's going to become iconic. That cinema scene became iconic. But, you know, you don't know that when you're making it. Whereas this one knew what worked much. Sorry, the 88 one has the hindsight to look at that and say, okay, we can take that minor element of the original and we can really build on it. You know, just like how The Thing took license with The Thing from Another World. This knew that the cinema scene had the chance to be iconic, and they went all in on that adaptation in their 88 version. And if you ask me, the cinema scene in the 88 version is an absolute highlight of it. Genuinely effective. Some slight problems that I think we could maybe improve, but generally it was much, much more horrific.
Yeah, I mean, the 88 film absolutely dials up on the body horror, which you would expect it to. I mean, the practical effects have evolved, you know, in the 30 years since the original. You've also got elements of sort of like early, I suppose what you can call CGI as well. So, you know, you can understand with the idea of the Blob in 1958, obviously, when it comes to sort of like the effects and the implementation of the actual body horror style stuff, you're going to be heavily limited by the sort of technology that you have to be able to work with. So yeah, like you, I'm not completely averse to remakes. It depends on what you're remaking though. I think there's some films out there that absolutely shouldn't be remade, video games as well, I will say. Because I don't think... Sorry, that was just the Apache helicopter going overhead.
No, it was Flight for Life.
I'm being dispatched in a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, depending on what it is. I mean, I think we talked about the Evil Dead last week being an example for the Tetsuyo films. So, you know, those sorts of ideas where, you know, you make a film and you might think, oh, it's a bit early. I could have done this a bit cleaner and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Go for it 100%. This is another good example of that. They, like I say, they kept a lot of the same beats from the original film in terms of the story. They did sort of bring it up to date for a more sort of modern audience at the time. But when I say modern, I mean sort of like culturally, not politically, if you will. And for me, it just worked really well because they were able to do more with what they had available, and they really sort of brought to life some of the scenes that we could have really done with the original, like the doctor in the 1958 film. You know, he's getting devoured by the Blob, but all you're seeing is Steve McQueen sort of just like trying his best to pretend to look disgusted when all it is just...
I think I've got that bit.
You know, and then he describe, and you know, and the best they can do is just describe what happens. Whereas now,
describe what happens, and when they go in, all it is furniture tossed around.
Yeah,
no slime, nothing.
Whereas, whereas now we can see it, and we don't have to imagine it. We can see it with our eyes. We're the ones witnessing the horror now. We are Steve in 1988. We are no longer just. We're no longer just hearing eyewitness accounts. We are the eyewitness.
My favorite comedic death in the 88 one was the restaurant kitchen sink. Pulled into the pipes.
Adding unique elements. The second that kitchen hand came in, I was like, you are dead. You have got X. Mr. appears in this scene and dies immediately written all over you.
Although I did find it incredibly predictable when he stuck his arm in the plug, and I'm like, he's going to be able to pull his arm out. His arm will come out. It comes out, and I'm like, now he's going to get pulled in. Oh, now he's getting pulled in. But my God, it looked great. It looks so good. Although you can definitely tell that the sink is no longer a metal one after when he starts going in, because you see it's like sponging. Like, but yeah,
it's great stuff. It's such great stuff. I like that take very much. That you just have more possibilities with the time.
Yeah,
not just in technology, but in censorship and what's just sort of open for commentary on. Like maybe the best example, is the Invasion of the Body Snatcher movies. Like there was new commentary you could make in each time.
I was thinking, do you know what? Funny enough, actually, you say that. I was thinking of those films while this was. I thought it would have been great, because when did Steve McQueen die?
Oh, good question.
He died early.
Yeah, because
70s.
I was thinking to myself, it's such a shame that he wasn't alive when this film came out, because I know he was a bit ashamed of his B movie work, but it would have
Yes.
been great, absolutely great, if he was still alive in '88 and did a cameo, like
Cheeky cameo.
like the dude did in the 70s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I just thought that would have been such a great little touch and a nice little homage to that man's career if he was if he was still alive, to have been able to do something like that. Even if it was just
1980.
Oh, there you go.
Man.
So yeah, he missed out by 8 years, but I thought that would have been such a nice little touch. If so, yeah, I did think of that film, to be fair.
He died of a heart attack on the operating table when they were trying to remove tumors from mesothelioma.
Oh,
he was exposed to asbestos when he was helping the war effort.
Alas. Yeah, I mean, I also read that he was a bit ashamed of the B movie work, but I mean,
apparently tried to buy out the films. And, basically tried his best to sort of suppress it. Didn't work, but
did you guys read the bit about him kind of screwing himself out on the payday?
No.
Oh, he made a rookie error.
Oh dear.
So it's like his first lead role, and he's offered a kind of ridiculous offer that he could get 10% of the gross or 10% of the profit.
That's a huge amount.
I know, that's insane. That is insane. 10% of the box office gross.
So he basically pulled a Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Matt
Damon
he Avatar, wasn't it?
He did the other thing. He did I've got to think which way round it was. He did a reverse George Lucas. So George Lucas saw that all the money was actually in the product rights and the toys and kept it. Jack Nicholson did a similar thing, I think, where he insisted on a percentage thing. Steve McQueen was a young actor and needed the money, so he took a $3,000 instant payment because he needed to pay rent.
Gotcha.
And if he'd have taken the first deal, he'd have come away with $400,000 in 1958. Brutal. I'm trying to think who else has done that, where they took the points and just absolutely caned it. There are some famous examples.
George Clooney's done that.
Has he?
Yeah. He was more low key about it, but he took like 3% and made like $30 million, something like that.
Oh no!
Some people they take the gamble, and my goodness, it pays off. It really, really pays off for them. I'm trying to think who else it is. I know there are others. Like there's some notorious examples there slipping my brain at the moment, but. So like it's not the shiniest work, and it's not it's not his best film, but I don't really get why McQueen would be embarrassed by this. Like he doesn't really do any goofy stuff,
I think it's just because it's just a B movie.
I just find it hard to believe because it's so charming. I just don't know why he'd be embarrassed about this.
But also from a critic's perspective as well, because I did sort of have a little look in terms of the critic response to this film, and around that time, horror wasn't really sort of looked upon favorably. Critics did not like it, mixed to negative reviews, whereas audiences loved it. Audiences gave it rave reviews, and I think it was the Rotten Tomatoes curse just strikes again. It was happening as early as the 50s. But I think Steve perhaps may have, obviously he's not here to defend himself, but I suspect that maybe he looked at sort of what the critics were saying and put more stock in their opinion than what actual audiences thought, and figured, well, if critics don't like this in terms of the earlier stuff, well, I can get rid of it, or I can try and get rid of it, so they only remember the good things that they like. Yeah.
He did the. He apparently attempted the Arthur Bryant move and tried.
I
to
disagree,
buy...
Lawrence. I disagree. I think we were tricked into thinking that people back in the day had a higher caliber of opinion. It's just like how some people say, "Oh, you know what? The Young Turks used to be all right back in the day. The Young Turks were all right until 2016." And then you look at the stuff like pre-2016, you realize they never changed. Just you had.
Well, that's where the horse sex clip came from. That's where Hassan's handsome gentleman clip came from. Yeah, TYT was always
it was always bad. You just never realized it until it mattered.
Dylan Roth referencing the Matador. I don't know anyone else who's seen the Matador.
I saw it a long time ago.
I haven't seen it.
Wow. TCG, can I heartily recommend the Matador?
You can heartily recommend it.
It's Pierce Brosnan acting.
Oh.
Imagine if James Bond was forced into retirement and got drunk and resented it. And you just see him being a drunken, horny louche, messing up some random dude's life. Like if fired, drunken, angry, horny James Bond moved in with the manager of a Tesco and just started messing his life up.
Yeah. The name's Bond. Fuck off.
It's incredible. I love it. I can't recommend that. If guys, you'll have a good time. Matador. Oof. Peep. Anyway, sorry. Yes, Dylan should have been Best Picture. It was absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed that so much.
And I still remember Pierce Brosnan's start in television and movies, Remington Steele, about a fake detective who is hired by a woman private investigator to be the face man. And it was charming, but I happened to see an episode, and God, was it stupid.
Many such cases. I did not know about that early Brosnan.
Maybe he did the old Steve McQueen treatment and buried it.
No, it got high ratings when it was on, and then when it was off air, they realized it was crap and never went into syndication that I remember.
Do you remember Brosnan being in Mrs. Doubtfire?
I do remember Brosnan being in Mrs. Doubtfire.
I saw a Twitter meme. Mrs. Doubtfire is the best Bond villain.
He nearly got him. He nearly got him.
I'm sorry, folks, if you wanted more Blob commentary. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. Can I give you some schizo stuff?
Go for it.
Oh, hang on. Actually, before you do, if we're talking about Doubtfire, if we're talking about Robin Williams for a moment.
Oh, sure.
Is Flubber a sequel to The Blob?
No. Flubber is a sequel to Flubber and Son of Flubber from Disney in the 50s.
Alas.
Okay, is Son of Flubber a prequel to The Blob?
You know, given that it's Flubber is green, I do note that in a lot of adaptations referencing the Blob, they always go green. They like green slime. And there was discussion in the 88 one, do they go with green? And they decided, no, we'll stick with it, and they kind of like the idea that it turns pink and red when it absorbs more blood. So, but I'll throw that out there.
There we go.
Yes, Laku, definitely watch the Mrs. Doubtfire horror trailer.
Oh, I've seen that. That is so good. It is so good. I love those trailers on YouTube where they like just take a spin on it, like where they'll I've seen one. I think it was Supernatural, and they turned it into like a like one of those like TV, like US TV soap ones, like the cheesy music, and like when the characters are introducing like that. Name comes up at the bottom. It's brilliant. I love that sort of stuff.
Classic. All right, so do have some tin foil because it's been a love-in for these films. Both, I think, doing very well. We will have to discuss whether or not these are actually body horror at all, and I think we'll close on that. But I did want to suggest, how can I say? Did you detect something of a sneaky theme going on in the remake? Something, say, under the hood, if you will. Something a little weird going on there.
Are you about
I'm going to have to find my screen caps.
Are you going to bring in a gay reading?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you are? Okay.
There was more of a gay reading in the 58 one where Mooch and his friend are holding hands in the woods. You just kind of,
Hang on. I mean, you asked for gay reading.
I didn't ask for it. Oh,
passionate. No.
Also, all right. Can we appreciate this dude? Well, this dude, I think, was in RoboCop, wasn't he? The police officer dude.
Was he?
He's been in a lot.
Yeah, he was the guy who gets like covered in all the acid sort of sludge shit. I'm pretty sure it's him from the original RoboCop movie. So he kind of looked like he was consumed by the Blob in that film, which is a pretty nice touch, I think, having him in this movie, even though he isn't consumed by the Blob.
All right. Well, I'll answer more seriously. Just a little bit of tinfoil because I don't have this entirely worked out, and it could be nonsense, but I am rather a fan of the interpretations of Mr. E. Michael Jones in his wonderful book, Monsters from the Id. And it sort of primed me. It's got a particularly excellent analysis of Invasion of the Body Snatchers 1956, and it trains you to look for things. And something I picked up in this is a little bit of a sexual undercurrent. Mr. Michael Jones is picking up on this. And you notice that along with the idea of, as you pointed out, when the heat goes up, the blob rises. Right?
Oh, God.
Okay. No, look. Let's put this out loud. Like, the blob attacks numerous couples macking in parked cars, right? The sexual energy seems to draw the blob. And then there's... What made me notice was just some weird details and scenes, because I'll confess, in the early part of the movie, it lost me a bit. I started getting a little bit bored. The film won me back over thoroughly, but in some of those early scenes, I was getting a bit bored, and I started to focus on the background of scenes. And I noticed weird stuff like, where is this? The posters. Is this a celebrate life? Pro-life thing happening here? Why is this in the background? In the scene, frequently you're shown this poster in great detail. Right, you're always framed with it in shot around her. And then in another weird shot in the police station, I don't have a good cap on this because I couldn't get it quickly enough. I'm afraid I ran out of time. But did you guys notice this poster in the background?
Maybe I did. No.
Well, that's because you're normal. You're normal, but I'm an autist, and so I focused on this. And it's a poster about reporting sexual abuse. Weirdly enough, there's a bloodhound dressed in a medical coat talking to a kid.
It's
I don't know.
McGruff, the crime dog, and he's wearing a trench coat.
There we go. He's wearing a trench coat. I thought it was like Dr. Bloodhound.
McGruff, the crime dog, was epidemic in the 80s, and I do mean epidemic because the commercials were annoying as hell. Take a bite out of crime.
Yeah, well, this is
you'll take no bites out of me, thank you very much.
it's targeting child abuse. Like, I'm like, that's an odd thing to include, but like I'm just saying, like, over and over in this film, the Blob attacks sort of scenes of sex. You know, when this guy's cranking out the wonderful back of the trunk cocktail bar.
I love that, by the way. I love that.
Smooth
That is
moves.
incredible. Yes, I am so. I was.
Yeah.
The fresh strawberries in the trunk.
This is the kind of thing.
Powered blender.
This is the kind of thing that could have easily been nixed at the script stage, and it's just a delightful eccentricity of the film.
He's got
it's so much fun
as well.
Yeah, it's such a hoot. It's like, this is a wonderful little scene. It's just fun, but the guy is basically
decadence, and it makes you cheer for the Blob.
Yeah, because he's at that moment where, like, there is a sexual dilemma. Let's remember, Friday the 13th is often sexual impropriety that basically summons Jason. In this scene, it's a bit more mature. You know, the guy has basically got the girl super, super drunk, passed out, and he's about to go fully criminal on yeah, and it's like, I don't know if that scene was maybe received as a bit more of a comedy focus back in the day. Maybe we've been wokeified, but for me, it's like, yeah, it's a bit more skeezy than funny. But the film has got solid morality. The second he steps over the line, where is it? Do I have it? Like, it goes full.
Where her boobs turn into the Blob and eats him.
Yeah, he transgresses sexually. The sexual transgression is the cause for punishment by the monster. Classic E. Michael Jones analysis. The Blob seems to be tied to a sort of sexual frenzy. And if you are doubting me, if you're thinking I've gone absolutely loopy, and this kind of Urotsuki Doji style imagery is, you know, this as well, you know, you're down to the heroine basically has to fight off the giant tentacle. I'm just saying. How does it look? I'm sort of desperately searching for a very particular screen cap. Where the hell is it? Here's it. Oh, for heaven's sake, where is it? Yes, at the end. What does a monster look like in its final form? Remember, at the end, the full revelation. What's the final form?
Something from Bad Dragon.
Behold it.
Hold up. Wow.
Now, you may have thought that I had skipped my meds, and that is true. You may have thought that the tinfoil hat has fallen off. That is also correct. But I think there's something in there.
Hold on. Okay, that's all well and good, but Chopsticks Murphy comes up with a really good question. What about the Blob putting a sudden stop to the race and the waitress candy tart?
No one likes biddy boning.
Oh, come
Too
on.
Old for it. Too old. Can't be doing it.
She was a MILF.
But he wasn't. He's not a silver fox, you know?
Oh, that's just...
He's average, but he's the sheriff. He has power.
Exactly. People respect him. He has authority.
It's a fair old question, yes. That's a decent counterpoint.
Oh yeah, Dr. Prepper. There was also a ribbed condom joke in an early scene. I love that.
Quite funny.
I love that. I love that
continuation with the father.
Jesus.
Ribbed.
Yeah, ribbed. He just looks.
Joe, be ashamed of yourself. Be ashamed. That is very few people appreciate that reference.
They weren't married. The oldies weren't married. It would have been
fun. Mid-50s, my tastes have changed.
What I'm saying is, you know, by the time it's getting to stopping the sheriff, getting on with the waitress, it's, you know, it's all gone too far. That was a wholesome thing, you know.
This background image would have been a hell of a lot funnier if I was in the middle of this screen.
Wouldn't we all like to be? Anyway, right, I don't have this all put together, but I do just think there's something in here. This isn't accidental. You know, you need to cool it down. How do they solve it? A cold shower. Cold shower.
A very, very, very cold shower.
Just saying. I've heard things, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's just only women running away. Oh no, it is the. Is that the dude? Is that Frag? Or his name?
They're limbering up. He's limbering up too. You know, look at that. It is, yeah.
It is near Christmas as well, to be fair, Dylan. It is near Christmas. It's October. It's not that far away.
Yes. So I throw that out. I don't have a complete answer for this, but I don't think that's coincidental. And I particularly think like the posters in the background, that's a kind of autistic detail you do if you are
if you want to go one step further as well with your theory, note that this thing is penetrating through
the sewer tunnels. Yes. Tunnels, eh? Really? Really makes you think. I'm clearly messing
teams for a while.
Well, you see, Paul Allen, you know, it's the fact that it's bigger than the church is clearly showing you that basically the old-fashioned morality has been kicked out of place. Because remember, we saw that in the scene in the pharmacy. You know, the priest is right there getting mogged.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying it's clearly a response to the diminishment of church power. You know, I'm just saying it's in there. I don't have this entirely sorted out. I think I may have missed a super chat as well. I did miss a super chat. I apologize. Distant Night has sent in 2 super chats. I'm going to do both of them. One because this is related to this exact screenshot. Speaking of Tetsuo, Sir Helmet is also in the 88 version. Yes, see? Sir Helmet, aka if you don't remember the penis robot at the end of Tetsuo. Incredible. What are the chances of it coming back? Red rocketing, eh? Talk about old South Park references. And another one from Distant Night, bankrolling me as well as making sure that the wonderful screen caps are done, saying, I think Chew is spot on here. The blob is a pictorial metaphor for biomass in the ever-expanding humanity context. I'll go for it with added eroticism because I think there's something in here. I'm not saying it's an entirely coherent reading, but it is in there, and I appreciate very much the super chats as well. Much appreciated. I cannot read that, Dylan. I cannot do. Okay. So something we absolutely have to address, and we probably should have led with it, but we were having fun tonight. I've been having a good time, guys. Is this actually body horror?
88, yes.
The 88 one is very close. It does a good job of representing dissolving bodies and that. The 58 one, not so much.
I mean, the 58 one doesn't really have anything gory or anything to that effect. Mate, I'd say absolutely the 88 one. It's got some grim bits in it, like, you know, the homeless guy, his body dissolved off, you know, half completely cleaned off. You've got the guy in the projection room. You've got the little boy in the sewers when he comes up looking like the dude from RoboCop after he got washed with all the acid. You know,
or Jason in the end of Friday the 13th Part 8 in the bit that makes no sense.
Yep, there is plenty to be. Of course, you've got the guy in the kitchen, like we talked about. He gets sucked into the sink. You've got the excuse me. You've got that girl, the drug girl, dude. She gets her like she's not like exploded. She is like sucked in. She's imploded. That if we're talking about your theory horror show, that adds to that. Where was the blob when she got sucked in? It was inside her, consuming her from the inside out. It had penetrated her.
Wow. I mean, I think that it's always going to hinge on, like, how do you understand body horror? And let me throw this out there as a challenger. Body horror is a lot of it is about impossible and grotesque behaviors of your own form. But one of the things that I think is intrinsic to it is an internal threat rather than an external threat. And the Blob is very external. Like your classic 50s movie, we've got an external threat, typically from space. You know, the Blob is really, if I were arguing against it, I'd say the Blob is just like a counterpoint. It's not about. No.
The Blob's an internal threat. Shall I tell you why? Because we
Mhm.
know where the Blob came from, because it's explained. It's the very own government. It's their very own government that created this thing, and it's now been unleashed on their own people. It's not. It's an externalization of an internal threat. Is probably what I would call it.
Okay. Okay. How about yourself? I'll throw it to you. I'm a half and half on this one.
The 88 one, I agree with TCG that it becomes an internal threat. I mean, Vicky becomes the Blob itself after being overtaken, and she eats. I mean, her tits turn into the Blob and eats her nasty paramour.
Herb gets revealed to the diner lady before she's completely consumed in the telephone booth.
Ooh.
Danny makes one last leap whilst being consumed by the Blob.
Okay, I mean,
in the sewers.
I might sound like more of an autist, but let's just imagine it's not the Blob, it's a bear, right? It's a bear.
Cocaine bear?
It's got a huge bear, and it's still doing that thing of eating people. Like, that wouldn't be body horror.
No, but the US government wouldn't have created the bear.
I think it's helpful not to get too focused on one element, but I'm just like challenging it, because the typical body horror is like someone has delusions. Like, think of Poltergeist, where the guy sort of tears his own face apart. That's a body horror moment. Typically, it's like an infection or a transformation. Think The Fly. Your body sort of betrays you. But we don't have to
most
absolutely lock it
films, Videodrome.
Great example for and Tetsuo as well. Like, I threw that in to give us a much wider brief for what body horror is, and things don't have to be entirely body horror. They can mix them up. I'll even throw in the Thing. The Thing is external. You know, it's literally an alien again, but the way it manifests is in bodies doing impossible things. I just thought I would throw it in to challenge it a bit.
That puts me on the fence.
I think
it puts me on the fence.
It's not as easy as I think. I think this is on the borderline, and the 58 one, I thought there was only one moment that really struck me as body horror, and it's I did cap it because I love it so much. Got it. Oh, it also follows this. Sorry, I have to show it. Just, this was beautiful. If anyone is only listening, I have a screen cap of the nurse throwing acid onto the Blob, and it was
the 58 version.
In the 58 version, yeah, thank you. It's my favorite shot of the lot. I think it's so cool. This looked brilliant. You know, like the blinds even like direct your attention exactly where it needs to. That didn't work on my camera, but like the slats of the blinds and where my hands need to be, that sort of, they direct your attention to the nurse, to the center, and what she's doing. The Blob is blurred. Oh, it's perfect. Great shot. But the body horror element for me, I know I'm being autistic.
No, I'm just looking at Patrick's comment there. POV, you live in London.
The last thing you see when you hear "you bloody." etc. I think it was this moment I thought was the only pure body horror bit from the 58. And it's like the Doctor here is fighting the Blob and he's transformed, but he's moving in this really, like when I say spastic, I mean in the medical sense. He's moving in a spastic way, like smashing against the window. I thought it was really creepy. It was unnatural movement, off-putting. You can't really see his face. This was a bit that I thought was the scariest bit in the movie, and like really quite nicely disturbing. Oh, love it.
Yeah.
But definitely that 88 really tried to move it much forward to further towards the idea of like the horror. Certainly like the appearance of body horror, the style of it, where it is like impossible body movements.
The elements are there, aren't there? And I think that what the 88 film does at the same time of rehashing this story is it does pay homage to a lot of other films as well. I think we mentioned obviously one of a couple of the obvious ones are The Thing, Friday the 13th,
Aliens, definitely.
Aliens,
like the sewer section.
Yeah, you've got I think there's elements of Return of the Living Dead as well, with the government sort of getting involved.
Oh yeah, great call.
And almost, and again, like, for especially for like things like the body, the horror aspect, the practical visual horror does look a lot like Return for me in that regard. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think there is an argument to be made there. I just feel like it bog standard body horror. I think and the threat for me, if we're looking at where the threat's coming from, for me, the latter film in particular, it is an internal threat. This isn't something it's come from outer space, but it was put up there by the very people who are now in your town trying to not only they're not trying to destroy it, they're trying to contain it because they want to use it for their own nefarious purposes, because they want to use it again effectively. As far as they're concerned, this thing is doing as it should be, and the people in that town are essentially cannon fodder. They're expendable, in the guy's own words. So there is a real internal threat coming from there, because they haven't just got to deal with the Blob, but they've also got to deal with this lunatic government geezer who's not wanting to actually acknowledge the actual threat, which is this massive biomass that will eventually consume everything if it's left unchecked. So it's two-pronged for me. The 58 version, though, it's a much simpler sort of premise, and I think a lot of that is because of the fact that it doesn't sort of go into where this thing came from. It is just a thing that arrives one night and chaos ensues. So you could definitely look at that as more of an external sort of threat, if you will. And yeah.
We
watched
like
both,
that, and
Alexi.
Alexi. We're doing both.
Sorry, Alex Neiman. Sorry, Alex, not Alexi. Alex Neiman. Yeah, we watched both, mate. Bit of Darabont. Yeah, I can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you make a good case. You make a good case for it. It's we're widening the scope of body horror, and in doing it with that, we try and track down what the essence is. Also, I want to give ourselves just a mild pat on the back for doing a whole body horror arc and not doing Cronenberg. I'm quite proud of us for that. We may return to this. I mean, there is certainly a heck of a lot of material we could get into, and I'd throw it open to you both. There's a few directions we could take it. We have got a couple of sessions left. We've got 2 Thursdays left. So I want to throw something out to you. Okay. Would you like next week's to be more dark and disturbing, or would you like it to be extra schlocky? I've got an unknown quantity. There is a Finnish body horror I was recommended by a channel member. But I think we absolutely have to do for the final.
Okay.
Just for a bit of fun, like something totally fresh. I've never heard of it. Hatchling, I believe it's translated as. I'll tell you what, I will name the movies and maybe chat can vote as well. But I was thinking William Friedkin's Bug or Brian Yuzna's Society. And if you're not sure, chat, yes, that's the one with the that's the butt one.
I haven't seen Bug. I've seen Society. Society's hilarious. I don't know what Bug is even about. Is it similar to Kafka's Metamorphosis, where he transforms into a bug?
It's with Friedkin, you might imagine, yeah, it's a little more serious, little more. Although Friedkin doesn't mind shock, I'm reminded of The Guardian. We really should do that one actually at some point. A Nanny is also an evil tree. Quality stuff.
If it mental, me, I know Dylan was going schlock. I would probably lean towards more dark. That's me personally.
All right, I'm going to pop this in the poll. We'll see how we do.
Yeah, let the chat decide.
Chat, you can do it while I type. And fill the air while I type.
Actually, yeah, while you're doing that, I do want to talk about the ending of the 58 film, because I did go a bit machismo on that one, because I had a few issues with the location and the conditions that they were in. So you have quite a few people in a diner, which has been fully sealed off by the blob trying to get in. There is limited amount of oxygen in there because obviously it's sealed. It's now sealed by the blob. So you've got a number of people in there, all consuming the oxygen that's within there, plus there is a fire. I don't think any of them would have survived very long.
No.
I did go Harry and I did go.
Oh
Harry.
No, we like it. We like the autism. I saw someone on the trivia for the 88 really digging into the rifle, saying these are disgraceful replicas, and this is obvious from. Harry and is that you? They would have been gone pretty.
Yeah, they wouldn't have survived that long. I mean, the fire would have absolutely absorbed all of the available oxygen to keep itself going.
If you want autism, like I got really annoyed that the blob sort of goes from big enough to eat a projectionist to suddenly that powers it to splurt through the entire cinema complex. So that was quite a sudden jump, whereas the 88 paced the growth of the blob a lot more.
Yeah, I did like the end of the 88 one. The Reverend survives being burned, and he turns into, he wants to unleash the apocalypse. The makeup there was great. Evidently, the original burn makeup took 5 hours, I believe, and then the post-burn, the healed burns took like 7 hours to do because of the eye effect. It's all practical.
You know what I liked about the 58 ending though, Murgoot, is that while they're flying the blob off to the Antarctic or the Arctic, wherever it was going, whichever way was the coldest, I don't know, it came up with the end, and then it went question mark. I literally was going, when it came up the end, I was like, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then it did that little animation turn. I was like, yes.
They did the thing.
They did the thing.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah. It's kind of a cheesy thing of time, but I love it. I love it.
Dissident Night for 20. Aussie
yeah. Hello.
He says, I'll ask this question of you.
Go for it.
When trying to address the body horror question, I do have to ask, wouldn't one consider the merging of the two characters in the finale of Tetsuo a pure body qualifier on its own merit? If so, how is the blob different?
That's a very good challenger. I first of all thank you for 20 Australian dollars. Very generous. Let's have a go. I lean a lot more on the internal aspect of it and the meaning of it rather than the externality, as it helps me identify things a bit better. So in this case, it's more about the feeling of the lack of integrity, internal integrity. So basically, the main character, just the salaryman, losing control. He loses control so much that he can't stop his infection, and then he can't stop himself being literally transformed and taken over and merged. It's his failure to control and stop this takeover and subversion of his own body and psyche that makes it a body horror for me, rather than simply like the melding, because you can be melded by other things, just like you can be chomped in half, and by lots of things. Hence the bear example. But I also can't ignore that body horror is a very specific thing about the breaking of a body to do something impossible, and I've not quite locked down why that's a body horror, but where werewolf movies really aren't generally. So it gets a bit fuzzy. I'm not a full academic. What can I say? Distant Night. Academia is almost all taxonomy, really, when we get down to it. How about yourselves, guys? I'll throw that open because that's a $20 super chat. It's worth a nice discussion.
I've got one comment before I give my opinion. Lakutaku, it's a melt movie, which is a genre of body horror. Yeah, I could see that. I am on the fence about it. However, avoid the movie The Stuff, also from the 80s. It's a Blob ripoff about sentient yogurt.
Larry Cohen, right?
Oh, God, The Stuff was awful. It was more schlock
The
than
Substance is worth a watch.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right on the towing the line. The transformative into the surreal or the menacing. The one movie of Barker and Cronenberg, Nightbreed, watch the director's cut, is pretty close to body horror, although it's more Barker's vision than Cronenberg's. Where half of the protagonists, well, they're the monsters, but they're the protagonists. Half of them, especially the guy who scalps himself and cuts his face open to become one of the monsters of Midian. That was pretty close to body horror.
Mutilation, self-mutilation is a major part of it, especially if you are trying to fight the takeover. The classic is people cutting parts of the infected area off. Is absolutely
the Dr. Prepper. The only werewolf movie I could really say that delves, well, it's a 2-part series, although I ignore it. American Werewolf in London is the one that really shows the body horror of becoming a werewolf. American Werewolf in Paris is a pale imitation, although the soundtrack slaps. But the movie itself, not so much.
Big agree. Yeah, I think that is always. I'm gonna say, sorry, I'm losing my words, and I'm going to partially blame Carrot and Parsnip Sherry. It's really good.
Give me more.
Yeah, I think you're right. The werewolf aspect, that one's focused so much on the pain of the transformation, and really focused. That was a Rick Baker one. So much effort was put onto the what it means to change into the wolf that I think it counts.
You mentioned,
and it was also paired with people that the ghosts increasingly rotted. which was also a form of body horror.
You mentioned in your response that part of it's about the sort of like a self-mutilation, sort of like you know, trying to remove the thing that you know is infecting you. I mean, I see that claim, and I raise you one homeless man trying to cut off the blob from his arm after it latches onto his wrist.
Strong contender.
Strong. I've noticed as well. I've just noticed that Dissident Knight said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Just
no,
now.
that's an absolute body horror classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, something that I don't think we talked about. That scene comes just before that scene. You get one of the most incredible edits. Where are we? So it's taken me a while to find it. Oh, it's earlier. Oh, for heaven's sake. Right. So the first time, and about 15 minutes in, by the way, so they were taking their time to get the blob to you. When it first surges onto the guy's hand, when he's prodded it, you get a smash cut to the jello.
Oh, yes. I love that.
Absolute legends. Well done. Well done. Oh. Yeah. So I think a fairly long discussion on that, but it's not, can we agree it's certainly not designed to be typical body horror, but a heck of a lot, especially the 88.
Yeah, I think
really is in that territory a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can probably accept that it's not conventional body horror in the way that, you know, like Brain Dead as an example would be. But I think the elements are there, and I think there's enough in the right off the 58 film that I don't think that's a body horror in the slightest. It just doesn't have enough in there for it to be a body horror film. The 88 one, I think, is more of a contender. And that's purely just because of the visual and practical effects that are on display. It's far more grotesque and horrific and uncanny display. You know, everything that makes the disgust reactions react. And I think it almost pays homage to. It does that sort of, it gives you that service while also simultaneously paying homage to other films that sort of bring that sort of horror into the big screen and onto the little screens. You know, it's doing a lot of things. It's a fan servicey type film. It's one that pays respects to other movies, and in its genre, it's trying to improve on an original, and it's just going the extra mile with the blood, guts, and gore. So yeah, there's arguments for and against, I think, but if it was me, I would be just slap it in body horror. I'm sorry, but a woman being turned inside out and and murdering the would-be sexual assaulter, go for it. the little boy coming out like melted all from the face and arms.
There we go.
You know,
there's that
like
moment
alone in Rocky after fighting after his fight. Give that. Yeah, I'll happily put that in that category. I will tick that box and say, body horror. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. And to make sure we stay on the right side of Super Nally, shall we actually move into closing thoughts and scores? And I'll also check the poll. Ooh. All right, folks, you've got your last few seconds to get your votes in at the poll. You might be able to swing it one way or the other. I'm cool either way. But get your votes in if you have not voted already. All right.
Poll.
Let's do closing thoughts and scores. Murgoot, would you like to lead us off for the both versions?
I have to rate the 1958 The Blob a 9 burgers.
Ooh.
Not much ketchup. It's a classic. It holds up well even today. Their practical special effects would be good up through the 70s, which is impressive. It's not gory, but like I said, it is a classic. It started a genre. It's impressive what they did with what they had at the time. I give Blob 1988 a 9 also. A lot more ketchup. Not much pickle. The pickle turns around and chokes the guy out, which I'm very glad of. And a little bit of cheese to it. It had a lot more humor than the original. It was the guy being pulled down the restaurant sink. That was hilarious. The nighttime jump over the bridge and watching the trucks just jump into the river. That was funny. But yeah, all in all, both of them were very, very solid. I liked the Blob 88 a little bit more, but I rate them both as a 9.
Chuffed with that. Very chuffed with that. Chat, also pretty fun so far. How about yourself, TCG? Where do those ratings come for you?
Right. Okay, so let's start with the 58 version. It is imperfect and it has issues. That said, for a film of its time, that is to be expected. The dodgy edits, the jumps between sort of things happening in scenes can be a little bit jarring, but on the whole, I felt like the pacing of that film was brilliant. I know you didn't agree so much, but I think it was trying to tell a very clear story in terms of like the youth and how we should be listening to our youth of the day, yada yada yada. Obviously very limited in terms of what it could do from a practical sense in terms of effects, but like Murgoot said, what they did for 1958, I think they did a bloody good job. And I think some of the choices they made to get those effects on the screen, I thought were an absolute masterpiece. Steve McQueen, I'll admit, I haven't seen many of his movies. And I wasn't aware that he was in this one, but I think he did a bloody good version. I don't know why he would be ashamed of a film like this. I think he could have actually looked back at this one with quite a lot of fondness, because it's a very well written film. Well written, not perfect, but well written. It's a solid 9 for me, I think, as well. I'm with Murgoot on that. There's absolutely no ketchup on that it's a dry burger. But you know, after having that dry burger, I'd like a little tub of jelly to have for my dessert. And then we move on to the 88 Blob version, and then I think it's almost like James Cameron being able to realize his vision by making Avatar when he wanted to make, this is the film I think that they would have wanted to make if they had the technology at the time. They bring the story from 58 and insert it into the 88 one, I think, quite well. There's so many beats of that movie and so many things that echo from the 58 film into this film, but they do it. But it is quintessential 80s, you know. And I think it's very much a film of its time. The characters, you know, they're not the same characters as the first one. They're a different group, but again, they follow the sort of same storyline as the second, as the original, and I think they do just as good job. Nobody's really safe in this film, as demonstrated by the early deaths of Paul and this delightful chap here. But it also does something that the 58 film doesn't do, and it actually blends comedy into it really well. My favorite bit is the bit when they're in the pharmacy, he's buying the Johnnies, and the guy's like, yeah, no, this is for my mate over there, he's whatever. And then the mate goes to the house to pick up the girl that he's going to be taking out for the evening, and lo and behold, the dad is none other than the pharmacist, and all he can say to Paul is ribbed.
the reverend in the pharmacy. It's I haven't seen you much in church.
Yes, yes.
Pops out. Plain or ribbed?
Yep. He's like,
yes.
Yeah. Just absolutely
died inside. But it was
the payoff. That setup and payoff was brilliant. And for that at that moment, I was like, do you know what? I'm in. When Paul got killed off as early as he did, I was fully expecting him to survive. He didn't, and I was in. I was like, okay, nobody's safe. Brilliant. There's actual stakes in this film. Love it. The things that sort of pull it back a little bit for me is that they give the Blob a bit of a backstory. There is an origin of it, and so I wasn't feeling that too much. I liked the ambiguity of the 50s version compared to the 80s version, but what the 80s film does well is, again, brilliant writing, some nice little comedic elements, the bits that they reintroduce, the beats that they repeat from the 50s film, they do it great. The cinema, the cinema scene, the doctor's scene, it's just great. And the fact that they're able to do so much more practically in terms of effects really sort of brings to life. As I said earlier in the stream, you stop becoming you don't hear a witness account of what's happening like you do in the 50s version. You become that witness by seeing this horror like right before your eyes. Really like it. Where else do I go from here? Okay. So in terms of the score for that, I would say, I think I'm going to be on your side, Dissident Night. I think it does beat out the 50s version, but only slightly. I think. I'm probably going to give it a 10. Okay. Now, what I have on my plate right now is a massive bowl of jelly, and inside are 10 ketchup-soaked burgers slowly being absorbed into the jelly biomass. The cheese is the last thing to go. And just before you hear just before you see the burgers fizzle out, a little bubble emerges to the surface, and as it pops, you hear ribbed.
One last thought before I turn it over to you proper is I love Joe Seneca as Dr. Meadows. I love him in everything he's done, especially his part in Crossroads with Ralph Macchio. Brilliant movie if you like music.
I've never seen that, but I thought he was fantastic and great for a sort of benevolent appearance. Later since nailed it.
One other thing. If I'm right, I'm not very good with character names, but if I am right, the 1958 version has a Danny, the 1988 version has a Danny, the 1988 version got it right with Danny.
Flap.
Gotta happen.
You ain't guarded nobody, boy.
Gotta happen. All right. That I'm chuffed you guys liked it so much, and yeah, there's a coziness about 50s B movies that just you love it. I will once again feel like a heel. I'm going to be it's quite nice that I will be scoring under both of you because usually I'm way more generous. But for me, whilst I enjoyed it, the 58 one, I felt there were just too many scenes that were just like padding out the dialogue and not enough Blob. And yeah, okay, I think they did have some restrictions. Everything they showed of the Blob, I thought looked great. And I was very impressed with it. I needed more Blob. I needed more Blob in my Blob movie. It's called The Blob, not the cop who plays chess or the street racers, And yet those are like disproportionate amount. So with those details aside, I've got to jank it down a little bit. It was 82 minutes, but some of those scenes dragged for me. So I don't think I can go above a 7.5. Nice charm, and I'm only doing that because for me, the 88 version was an absolute out of the water surprise hit. Why have I not watched this before? I will be nitpicking it. My nitpicks are there's a section early on in the establishment where I felt it was a little flabby and I lost interest and started focusing autistically on the background. And then I got over that, and it seems like this in the pharmacy brought me in, and I loved it, and it was hilarious. Just as you said, this film is incredible at foreshadowing and setup at payoff. I can take off points for or burgers rather, for like minor things like Sean A. Smith's character rescues her brother and his friend from the cinema, but she doesn't really do anything that they can't do. Like, they're just trying to, all they need to do to escape is go to another door, which they could have tried. I would have preferred it if she had some special knowledge that would let her out, like she knew the code to get out the emergency door. So some reason that she had to be there. But that is a really that is a Harrian level nitpick from me. And it doesn't detract from this overall just being a really fun movie with good foreshadowing. Wait, there's the thumb on camera. Good foreshadowing, good setup on payoff, really great jokes, beautiful use of effects. And we should not be, we haven't mentioned this, but Chuck Russell, who directed this, his whole thing, he leaned heavily on basically being at the forefront of technology and using that to tell a more interesting story. So just before this, he did Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And I like, when you know that, it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense for how he told this story the way he did.
That was the first one, really, where Freddy became a bit of a comical character, wasn't it?
Yeah. He had a bit of comedy in it, I think, but
it was
3 was more brought in more than Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2 combined. That's how
it explained the dreamscape a little bit better, and it was more horrifying than comedic. The comedy in 3, well, we're almost over time. We are over time. The comedy in 3 brought out the horror of what was going on rather than being relief.
Yeah.
And that's why it worked. That's why it became a classic.
And it was incredibly, like, they were already an inventive series, but 3 really elevated it. Anyway, in short, to make sure we stay in time and don't face the wrath of Super Nanny, it's going to be, I don't know if it's too much. I feel like with the element of freshness, this is close to a 10. I had a great time in this movie. I loved it. I was hooked. Great effects. Yeah. Great moments. Really enjoyable. Characters I liked. That's the other thing. Characters you like. I liked them. So yeah, I think it's a 10. So I feel a bit harsh, but 7.5 and a 10 for me. But either way, you're not wasting your time. Yes, I see Super Nanny is there expressing her wrath. We will get out before her. I will end the poll. We have just clinched it with society. Tell you what, folks, next week I'll take another poll. We'll give you a chance, and you can choose between Bug or the Finnish one. But we will be doing Brian Yuzna's Society. I love it. That'll be an experience.
I wanted Bug. I wanted Bug. This is why I hate democracy. I shouldn't have agreed to throwing it back to chat.
Alas. Well, I think we'll split. There's still a chance. All right. Well, folks, trying to stay on the right side of Super Nanny. Thank you so much, Murgoot and Mr. TCG.
Very welcome. Thank you, chat.
Pleasure as always. Thank you for having us, and thank you, chat, for being as amazing as always.
Oh, yes. Chat, you've been absolute winners and very generous, and it is much appreciated. And yeah, so this is your review of the Blob 1958 and the Blob 1988. You have got your horror homework, which is going to be Society from Brian Yuzna. In these goings down, don't worry, man. We've talked about both the 58 and the 88. So there we go. And yes, I'll be interested to see what you make of it. But yeah, there we go. Really enjoyed talking about this. I don't know. I like the cams. Maybe we stay on cam.
I think we should.
We'll be on cam next week. Let's do it. I'll see you next week for Society. Folks, I hope you have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend after that. And I will leave you here. Go and... sorry. What did I point at? You. If you haven't already... the David Lynch series, it's slightly off where I expect it to be. I just pointed dead ahead and it wasn't there, so there we go. Go and watch my David Lynch series on lotuseaters.com. We just dropped part 3, and that's Josh and Harry and I covering Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire, and The Straight Story. Go watch it, and leave a wonderful comment saying how much you like that kind of obsessive detail and who we should cover next. That is everything. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.
Hashtag slogging.
Yes.
Hey.